in these underground facilities, they're not allowed to use the name Jesus Christ, even if they stub their toe. Lieutenant Colonel Greg Renrich, he's an individual that I worked trying to get into higher entities to come on and give me an interview, because he worked in Black Ops and has supposedly worked at S4, S20, numerous underground facility bases, what they call DUMBs, deep underground military bases. But he talked about how when he went and worked, like when they brought him out to S4, was the first one they worked at, which is the one out of Area 51. They made him sign an affidavit saying that in these underground facilities, they're not allowed to use the name Jesus Christ, even if they stub their toe. And later on, he found out why. He said that there was giants in these underground facilities, and that some of them were 15 feet tall, some were as tall as 25 feet tall. And he said one day he actually heard one of them talking to a group of scientists that were working there, and he just kind of caught bits and pieces of it. But he said he did hear him, the giant, refer to itself as a Nephilim, and said that they were preparing for an intergalactic war with God, and they actually believed that they were going to win.
They believe that. See, they will pretend to be anything. You told me a story also about that. See, I hadn't heard that part. But you told me a story also about how there was someone in there that they wanted out. Can you talk about that a bit?
Stan Deyo, who worked for the FBI over in Australia, and he actually went into or worked in a deep underground facility over there in Australia. And when we went and shot with him and filmed him and higher entities off camera, he told us this account, this one story. They were, you know how whenever they, like hospitals where they're teaching students and they'll be doing like an operation and there's people, the students are up above and they're watching and looking down. He said it was something like that, but they weren't doing an operation. They were just in there observing, and there was these entities that were in there, but he said that they were taller than normal size humans. And he said somebody came into the room behind them. And when this person came into the room, he was stood there behind them for like a couple minutes. And he said that all of a sudden they all just stopped whatever it was that they were doing. And he said that they turned around in that direction where they were all at. He said that one of them pointed up there and he said, "Get him out of here right now." And so they removed the person out of there. Well, when Stan ran into him later on and he asked him, he said, "Hey, what happened back there? Why did they kick you out of the room?" And he goes, "I don't know." He's like, "But as soon as I walked in there," and he said, "I laid eyes on those things," he's like, "I just started praying and rebuking them in the name of Jesus." And so he was sitting there praying and rebuking them in the name of Jesus the entire time, and that's what freaked him out, and they kicked him out. He wasn't praying out loud or anything. He was just in his head, was rebuking them and saying, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus."
Wow. And this is when one of those DUMBs that he was in?
Yeah,
Deep
one of the
underground
DUMBs over in Australia. Yeah.
Australia. Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Man. Okay, so who was it? I want to provide some little, because that's so bizarre, and at the same time it's so fascinating. How much legitimacy can we derive from that? What was the guy's name? You said it was
Stan Deyo.
Stan Deyo, and he was. Tell me a little bit about his background. Sorry, this is my research person digging.
No. He worked for the FBI for quite a period of time. He's also in the military, and like I said, his credentials are the real deal. He's got a book. He's been on several podcasts with Hagman and a bunch of them. So he's pretty well known.